Hello there. So it has been a really long time. I'm a bit late doing this one. I finished the sketchbook actually January this year. But I'm doing the recording like really late. A lot has happened this year, and a lot happened last year, honestly. Between just a lot of moving. But I finally finished the sketchbook, and I kind of wanted to go over and do a little sketchbook tour, considering it's been a while. I mostly just do these for myself, just to kind of, I guess, for archivalness. But yeah, let's go ahead and get started. So I think if you look at the last video, actually, you can see when this was all nice and new, and I had covered it at the time, or actually I don't know if it had a cover yet. But anyway, I pasted a paper cover over the original notebook cover, and then I've been sticking stickers all over. On the back, there's some stickers too. These are some stickers I designed and cut, but these ones are all the kind of rejects that were off center, but I kind of wanted to save them still. They were like testers. And then obviously now I have the little date stickers. So we have from February 2018 to January 2021. And there's some 2017 Inktober's that I started in here. Because initially I believe this was I was going to try and do all of Inktober 2018-17 in here. But that didn't go so well. It also turned out to be not so great at paper for all my pens, because some pens got like bleedy. I think you could look on this one that some of the lines were feathering really bad. But yeah, so let's see. We have these are the first ones are going to be Inktober's, and I was actually pretty happy with how Inktober's were going this year. I think I decided to go with following the prompts that year. So you have Poison, Divided, Swift, but I was trying to do some original characters. It's a little bit of fan art here with Link, but there's like OCs. This one, I think my second priority was to try to focus on backgrounds, which is why a lot of them are more full, detailed kind of illustrations. This is one of the nicest Inktober's that I think I did, but I only did 5 in the end. But I was at the same time like the proudest I've ever been of any Inktober pieces. This one, I love this one a lot, just how the trees came out. After that, we get into 2018. I'm going to flip through some of these kind of quick, I guess, because there's some figure studies. Local comic book shop in Sacramento does these model nights that I, obviously not anymore because COVID hit, but this is 2018, so they usually have cosplayers come in and they're in costume, but they would do the poses for us so we could do gesture studies, and sometimes I brought even watercolors and did little sketches like this that were really fun to do. I like how this was, I think, actually ink, not watercolor, but I caused it to bleed intentionally with touches of water. This is a little gouache practice. I always try to put in my sketchbooks as well watercolor swatches, just to see how the watercolors I use look on this kind of paper. This, I believe, is a mixed media paper, so I got to color a lot more, and it held up great. D&D notes. So some more model night and figure studies. I think I tended to do that the most in this book. They're just figure studies. I'm actually wondering if I'm going to have to blur these. So commission notes, more things I should probably censor. Batman. These are always really interesting. Sometimes I didn't want to do the whole body, so I would try to focus on like an expression or something. There's a lot of D&D stuff for this. So there's Patience. I think there's a bunch of Patience in here. These was like I said, this is the thing I use it the most, especially at the beginning of 2018. That was the main thing I did. I write in here a lot. Some more D&D notes, it looks like. This is before I got a designated sketchbook for that. So just Patience and Persistence. They're twins. I think I pretty much just distinguish them by how they fix their hair. Oh, Inktober again. So we have Inktober from 2018. It looks like I did 1, 2, 3, 4. So far 4. I don't think I did very well this Inktober either. The twins and their mom. This is actually really fun because I think I originally made 2 characters for this is my Patience is my first D&D character, and she has a twin. It was an accidental thing because I knew I wanted to play cleric, but I didn't know if I wanted to be a life cleric or a trickster cleric. And then I went with life cleric based on the fact that everyone else was, you know, going to be some sort of like fighter or something, and we needed a support character, so I was like, okay, I'll be the healer this time. But I was so sad about the not getting to play the tricks. And I was talking with the DM, and he's like, you make that like an element of her backstory, like maybe the other sister can still be a character, and she like has gone missing. And so that's my initial quest in the game, was to find my missing sister who had stopped communicating with the family, basically. And it was really fun because also now I do play Persistence, the trickster cleric, in Adventures League. This is gonna just be a blur. I think there's too many boobies. But yeah, but that's a fun story with that one. Some spider peeps, gestures for a dance. I liked doing stuff like this, so I think I was watching a video and then I would like just watching the video on loop and then trying to do dance gestures to make it do this thing. I have no idea what dance is. I have no idea what it is anymore. Little spider Sona, terrible one. This one is a D&D character for a new campaign that we started after the one that Patience was from. This is Lucia, my monk from a Waterdeep campaign. So this one we were following the not Lords of Waterdeep. I don't know the name, but the something of Waterdeep. It was the first Waterdeep adventure book, and so this is the character I came up with for that. At least the first drawing of her. I think her design changes a little bit. Then we have some Critical Role. I'm super into D&D. I'm sorry. Oh, we got some more Model Nights. So this is January 2019. These some designs that I never went anywhere. Face practicing. This is actually, I think, notes. I was taking notes looking at like old drawings about how I used to draw eyes for the characters that I do, and kind of like why. Like these Ein and Zwei used to have these really unique eyes that I didn't draw on any other kinds of characters, and the idea was that I think that they were like camera lenses, which had like, if you look inside a camera lens, it has like all these little rings that kind of go into the lens, and it's like, that'd be cool if their eyes did that. It's cheaper. I'm actually really happy with how this one came out. I'm actually really happy with how these ones came out too. This is a model night where we had Amelia Earhart of let's see, this is Storytime Princess Parties. Nina is super fun when she comes in and does this stuff for us. She's one of the really fun models to have. This is Amelia Earhart, so she had this really cute outfit, and I was kind of just having a really good time drawing her expressions on it. This is also when I started saving these, so I'll try to call out their Instagrams as we go, if those are relevant. Jester. This was a fun one because I think I did some funny Croquis Cafe. I wish that was still around. I think it is, but it's not on YouTube anymore. And that used to be a really fun and easy way to just put on one of those videos and do some studies, but they got taken down because nude models and all that. But this gesture was so fun that I'm like, oh, that looks like a pose Jester would do, and just did that. Patience. I'm not as proud of that one as I used to be. More rough sketches. Kind of an update to Lucia's outfit. Cute moose. There's a lot of writing in here, honestly, and it's because I just kind of didn't mind using this as a notebook. Just more D&D notebooks. I don't think I do that anymore. I try not to. I have other notebooks for that now, but I think back then I was trying not to carry too many books. This is fun. This is a crayon, I think. maybe a crayon. Colored pencil over here. This is another Empires. I think I was trying to avoid erasing so much, so I said, fine, I'm going to color with a color pencil. I'm going to draw with color pencil because it's not as easy to erase. Actually, this is, yeah, this is actually water soluble crayon, I believe. I don't know why I didn't actually do it though. This was a fun one. So this one, knock out the gesture real quick in colored pencil. Then I quickly watercolored, and then I did some ink outlines on this. I just somehow, this pose, somehow I did it so quick, and I was able to do all that in 17 minutes. And then this other ones, I managed to just do some inks. But it's fun to like do the gesture and then realize that you did it so quickly and that you can like get in there and like do the ink in 20 minutes, 25 minutes. These are longer poses, but they were fun. Did I not have an Instagram for these, by the way? No, sometimes I also tried to write it if they didn't have business cards. But I didn't on these ones. This one is the same one who did the Amelia Earhart ones. So she and a different model came with her, and so we actually got a 2-for-1 on that day, and that was super exciting. It was Anna and Elsa. This one, super fun one as well. This is a one-shot adventure that I got to do with my boyfriend. He DM'd it. He wrote this little story for just me, like a little one-player quick one-shot adventure, and that was a lot of fun. Let's see. This is also, I think, one of my favorite characters. I just really like how it came out, so you can see how much this paper can handle. If you look at my old video, that paper was just sketch paper, and it handled watercolor terribly. But this one handled it so much better. I still just got a little messy, but it came out like so much nicer. I could even lift watercolor, some of the pigment out to get some highlights, and it just came out great. This one was an Adventure League game. These are all D&D characters. This sketchbook is like 50% D&D characters. But this was kind of like a rough sketch. I never really finished designing her, but this, I got to play in Adventure League. We played through with a solid group the entire Descent to Avernus, and I got to play a paladin for the first time. So I got to be the heavy hitter for the first time ever, and it was super exciting. Sorry, I'm being weird. Inktober again. So we got to Inktober 2019. I think I was doing this funny thing where I was trying to like make these quick silly D&D characters for everyone, but I was trying to make them smaller. I was just trying to be goofy and creative. So we have a Dragonborn Wizard, and I think I still tried to mix in the Inktober theme. So like this was trees, this one was ornament. And so this is a Warforged Barge. I think I had like a chart where you could roll the race and then the class. And so it was just trying to kind of make a random thing every time. But on one of the funny days, I did get a elf and a monk. And I'm like, I'm just going to draw Lucia then, because that's what that character was. So there's Lucia from the Waterdeep campaign again. She looks different basically every time. I don't know if I'll ever get that down. Some dragons. I got Spyro and Toothless, well, the baby Toothless. Thumbnails for print ideas. I think most of them I didn't pursue. An attempt at a self-portrait. I think this one wasn't too bad, but it transferred over some of the graphite, and that does make it look terrible. More model night. We have Leia. She actually had these little bubble gums, so I added little bubbles. But some people turned it into the blasters. So sometimes we have weird props. There's props that are not actually what they're supposed to be. But sometimes we do them anyway because it's funny. Let's see. More Leia. Zephin. He is the friend to my Descent to Avernus. This is my boyfriend's Adventure League character for that campaign. More figure studies. Tried to get back into it. This is, I think, lineofaction.com. I know that website's still around. It's a good one to use too. I should get back into figure studies. Random dragon. My boyfriend, I think I asked him, like, because he said my style would work pretty well for designing Animal Crossing characters, and I kind of agreed, and I was playing the game a lot, and I'm like, Andy, give me an idea for a character, and he goes, a nice wolf who likes to stay up and go stargazing. I'm like, that would be the cutest character, but I guess the owls kind of as the nighttime characters for that anyway. But I figured it'd be Lupin. And he has a little constellation. I think I actually did look up like wolf constellation for the star on his sweater. But I like to imagine he just hangs out at night, drinks cocoa, and he's adorable. My old bedroom in isometric view. I was trying to do it from memory, just to see if I could kind of figure out what that looked like. So you have like my desk and all this. It's really light because I did it in too hard a pencil and I was just goofing off basically. I think I decided to combine a dragon and a rabbit somehow. Yes. So we have some more model night. This was, now COVID has started. For a long while they didn't do model night, but then they started doing this kind of online Facebook event one where models would give the event organizer some photos that they had gotten done professionally, like during conventions from photographers and stuff, and they would post the image, and then we would have like a timer go, so you could do a sketch, submit it onto the event, and we would like each other's photos and kind of chat a little bit. It was still really fun. It wasn't the same as, you know, getting to meet in person, but it was still a lot of fun. I think this night I was late, so I only did 2, but it was still good fun, and I watercolored them in. Spider swingies. This is a fun series that I am going to go ahead and call Dungeons and Dresses, or D and Dresses, where I just drew, because all my D&D characters are girls, I just decided to draw them in nice outfits because they never get to wear nice outfits because they're adventuring. So we got Patience, Persistence, then I did a little Lucia in kind of like a tango inspired dress. I think I just did some florals here because I felt like it. I think they're watercolor and colored pencil. These came out really nice. Let's see, here's the character who, from the one shot, the one that I showed you the watercolor, that was super fun. She has amnesia, so I just kind of just put Amnesia Hero. We never named her in the end. I think this one I wasn't happy with how it came out, so I kind of did a second one, so she got 2. And some more model nights. So once again, you usually had a variety of different costumes, but it's the one cosplayer who was doing all of them, and it was different photos of different cosplays they had done. It's amazing how many costumes people will have. I think I'm super happy with how this one came out, just because I used watercolor and then blue and red colored pencil to get this kind of shading in. Super fun. Black Panther, Batman, all the fun guys. Babies. And I think I needed this as a reference for buying a notebook, so I did like a quick size thing, and then I never do anything else here. I think this was supposed to be like a rough idea for the Avernus campaign character. So once again, this is another one of the D&D dresses and kind of thing. But I think I haven't expanded on this idea. I still gotta revisit that. I would like to do like full color digital illustrations with them once I've got them sketched out and all. But yeah, I think me messing with pens, I do just a lot of pen tests sometimes. I look at my pens and I don't remember how they work in here. So we do that. Night sketching. Cat sketches, I think done just past midnight. I think around now, this is like fall 2020, I realized how little I had left, and I started making like a concerned effort to try and finish. And so I was just pursuing it, and I was drawing almost every day for a good while. Ideas, I think I played with the idea of making book plates for all the books that I own. So I think that these are rough sketches for that. I'd like to revisit this idea as well, but it's also like, considering I would probably print these out as stickers or something, I wasn't sure like what idea am I willing to commit with for my entire library. I might revisit this cat idea. My boyfriend and I got a cat, so we have a cat again. He used to have a cat, but she passed. And I've never had a cat. I've lived with my brothers who had a cat, so that was like kind of my cat, but now we have one of our own, and I'm like, I'm gonna make it look like her. That would be adorable. More watercolor studies. I was playing with watercolor. These are fountain pens, so I was trying to get a fountain pen to run out, so I was just doing a bunch of doodles. So we did some doodles from, I didn't write it down here, but I believe that this is, I really like how this wreath came out. This came out a solid wreath. And then I think this was just practice with the brush, like pressure to try to get like these wiggles and try to like fit them within each other. And I really liked how it came out. I think I was also just getting rid of like some of the mixed colors on my palette. So it was a lot of fun, this one. This is a brush pen full of like magenta ink and just playing around with that. I really like how this bee came out. I should make that bee into a sticker or something because this is a beautiful bee. That's also a cute Pikachu. I think there's notes. Sometimes I write notes to myself about what I'm doing, like why we did this weird mess. Like I was testing a water brush that was full of ink, and that it used to be a lubricated ink, so it was like super gushy. And so I added water to try to like see if that would make it less barfy. It felt like it was just throwing ink out. It used to blurb and mess up whatever I was drawing terribly. But I added water to it and it ran a lot nicer. And actually I did some other cool testing pages. I think over here, I just played with it on like Bristol board to see what I could end up getting. And it was so solid. It worked really nice on Bristol, so I might do that again, but maybe not with a bright magenta ink. But then I'd have to mess with it again because ink formulas are a little tricky. This is watercolor practice. I was reading through Everyday Watercolor, a book by Jenna Rainey, which is a nice book. It's good watercolor, just exercises. I've never formally learned watercolor or read through an instruction book on it. It's mostly just been me goofing off with the medium. So it was interesting to try and like follow through exercises and like conscientiously think about flow, about pressure with the water, not pressure with the water, pressure that you're inserting with the brush, about controlling water when it's bleeding like this or when it's dry. And it's been fun. I think this was more exercises from that notebook. This one I was so unhappy with it. I did it again and I think I like this one more. I think the colors are better in this one. Playing with nib pens over here. Because I was just trying to draw every day, I was just playing in here a lot sometimes, just testing how things were working. Getting reacquainted with a variety of supplies just to see how they are. Oh, dear centaur. I think I've drawn this girl before in some other sketchbook, but I wanted to kind of revisit that doodle. Colored pencil, goofing off where I mix those up. Just testing, like this is the entire, I believe actually. Oh, this diagonal is every pure watercolor on the palette, and then I mixed it so you can look at like this and this one mixed to make this, blue and this one make this one. It was just trying to get an idea of what a really pigmented mix looks like coming from here. And you get really cool colors in here, like this teal is super neat. This kind of brick red is awesome. I like some of these browns a lot. So it's good practice to do. Do that every once in a while with watercolors. Just play around, see what colors look like when you mix them around. And then this one was just so saturated. They were so thick that I felt like you didn't really see the differences in the colors that well. So I did it again, and this time I tried to make sure there was a little more water. And then ones that were particularly interesting, I made little notes over here. There was leftover colors on the palette, so I did a quick pat in another dress. And I think I was just taking doodle requests from friends. So Flower, Charlie. Does anyone remember All Dogs Go to Heaven? I am super dating myself, but here's to my 90s kids. All Dogs Go to Heaven. Watching it 90 million times on the VHS friends out there. Zephin again. Oh, little note. Poor Zephin fainted the most in Avernus because he's the wizard. He's squishy. But only Isolde actually died. Isolde was my character. I was the only one in the campaign to die. It's okay. I got better. I think I was taking some more requests. So I think this was a giant balloon monster with a static electricity problem. Some leaves. I believe this is once again... No, it was just me practicing leaves. And then I think I took a pen to kind of outline them and define those. Little portrait of myself. Once again, a portrait of myself. This is just me realizing that I am on the last page. This is me all the time. I'm going to draw every day. or at least every weekday. And then third day in, burnt out and tired from working on already in bed. And then I forgot to draw. But I've been taking this attitude a lot more lately. Just the idea that keep going. Every day's another drop in the bucket of being the person who practically draws every day. This is actually one of my favorite self-portraits to come out with. Although I always feel like I make my face a little off. So, alright, time for a new sketchbook. And that was, let's see, February. It was 18, almost 3 years in this book. Just under 3 years. So it was a good run in this one. It was a good time. And let me show you real quick, I guess, the book that I'm going to be using next time. Alright, so this is the one I'm currently on. It's the same size as the last one. And I've already given this one the treatment that I did the same. I covered up the cover with some decorative paper. And I'm going to start sticking stickers on it. This one, I believe, is a different material than this, where this one was mixed media paper. It's the same size. Yeah, it's the same size. And where this one was mixed media paper, this here is actually watercolor paper. It's a teeny bit thicker. Hello, Mayday. You guys get to see her paws and her tail now. But I'm not going to do this take again, so... so this is a watercolor paper. This one has, it's little stats in there, I guess. But this is Canson's extra large sketchbook. I already took out this pocket I had made for that last sketchbook. So I already just I make these, some cardstock, and I like make these little tabby things, and I put it in there. And it has these little pockets for storing stuff. So already there's a few things in this one. This paper is even thicker than the last, and I'm kind of focusing on doing more watercolor in this one than in the last one, because it feels like a waste otherwise, at least mentally. I'm still in the tiny sketchbook. Yeah, I'm still in the tiny sketchbook that I showed in the last one. This one has a lot more stickers on it, but this one just has a bunch of, oh, I guess I put stuff in here. This one I write a lot more in because it's also just what I do. But this is my quick pull out on a whim sketchbook, and this is the cheaper paper one. So this one's all pencil, pen, quick stuff that it can handle. I'll go over this one, but I'm nowhere near finished with it. Actually, maybe I'm almost halfway. So, nah, I'd say a third. So we'll eventually get to this one. But, maybe. But this one already has some watercolors. So we have some Model Night watercolors in here. Oh, here you go. So this is Jennifer Ravensong. I believe she was also the Velma in the other one. This is from a photo shoot of that. And then there's a few Inktovers from this year, 2021. But obviously that also didn't go very far. I think I only did 4 or something. So, but I was pretty happy with how they came out. I got a little mariachi. The crystal from Final Fantasy Crystal Chronicles back on the GameCube. Although I believe there's a version on the Switch now as well. Just a cool bee. Just a cool bee. And then these were also Inktovers. So this one was playing with ink and some watercolor pencil. This was actually Posca and watercolor pencil. So I think I did the blue Posca, and then over it I did the black Pentel brush. And so this one actually is one of the ones I was most happy with. It came out just kind of neat. But yeah, that's all I've done in this one so far, but I'm wanting to play in this one a lot more. I think I'd like to do more watercolor because the Inktovers are okay in it, but once again, this has the same issue as in the last one, where certain brushes that I use bleed really badly. Or not bleed, they feather. They feather pretty bad, and that's why I was doing tests for like each one of these just to see how they'd come out. So I might play with this some more. I don't know if I'm going to keep doing Inktober this year. I wanted to, but then we decided to do like an overhaul spring cleaning, and I've been too exhausted for it. But maybe I'll try to keep picking up, see if I can do some more, at least for this month. Just trying to keep in a good habit. So this one effectively was started halfway through 2021. Because even though I finished this one in January, I think that was around then I moved. And so I focused on just drawing either on loose paper that I had around that I could put in folders. I think the little guy here, the little one. So I hadn't been doing more finalized pieces for a while. I think I switched to doing a lot more digital for a bit. But yeah, so here's to another finished sketchbook. I would say I would add it to the shelf, because I used to keep all these on one shelf so I could look back on them. But now they're in a storage bucket. But they're in a safe place. They're in a nice, dry, safe place. And this one gets to join its buddies in the bucket now. So until next time, hopefully it won't be another 3 years. But yeah, I hope you'll have a good one. Other than that, I hope you had fun watching. And if you look into any of my other stuff, I'll hope to see you around.